What's going on, everyone? Happy Thursday. We're almost to the weekend here. Welcome into a brand new edition of the Ryan Ripken Show. Look, we got a lot to talk about today on this Throwback Thursday. Every Thursday is a throwback, but we're going to have to throw to some baseball activity because actually in Baltimore, people have been wondering what's happening with the Orioles and the managerial position. Well, apparently there might be a legend that is in the works for the Orioles. Well, at least he might be interviewed. Not one that you're expecting out of this stratosphere, Albert Pujols. We'll talk about that. The Week 7 kicks off tonight. So the Steelers, Bengals, question remains then for the AFC North and for the Baltimore Ravens fans. Can Baltimore still catch Pittsburgh even if they win tonight? Dan Orlovsky had a take on it, but we'll explain why or why not in this scenario. And then MLB postseason is going on. And also Stop Traffic. My mother, Kelly, she's going to be making her appearance, her second consecutive appearance on the Ryan Ripken Show. And a bunch of other storylines that are mixed in here. I am by myself at the moment in the studio. It's loud. There's a lot of echo noise, but at least we have someone that's joining me virtually, one and only Bali. Bali, you there? There you are.
Yeah, I'm still here. How's it going? Happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday, man. Happy Thursday.
Well, I was going to say, what a fun time. We're at that rumor point of the MLB offseason, although I guess it's technically not the offseason, but for a lot of teams, every team but four, it is. NFL, obviously, we got a lot to talk about there. Just a fun, just nothing but fun things to talk about on a Thursday.
Yeah, a lot of fun things. And I do love the Throwback Thursday. So if there are songs that you love, let me know. You know what, Zach, I'm not listening to my Brazilian funk. I have gone down the rabbit hole of Without Me with Eminem because of the 1950s Motown AI version I heard the other day. I'm just locked into that.
Yeah, you were talking about that. You were talking about that on the show, I think.
I know. And then I heard Candy Shop by 50 Cent in 1950s form. And I'm like, man, this is kind of another bop. So let us know what you're grooving to on this Throwback Thursday. And we're going to get into a lot of baseball here. Specifically, I know a lot of people want to talk about the Orioles managerial position. And again, if you are new to the channel, we see you on YouTube, X, and Facebook. Appreciate you guys tuning in. But Zach, before we get into all the baseball talk, I want to put a bow on what just happened in the NFL this past week, and mainly because it keeps circling. Because I think every fan's, conspiracy theory, the ones that are really what, the NFL's rigged, the script is out there. I'm like, come on, you got to go play the game. But then there was a moment that happened in the Chiefs and Lions game that if you watched it, the Lions should have been up 7-0, not because the play was technically legal. It's not that, they didn't get the call right on the field. It's that it went against what the guidelines are. And so Dan Campbell, the head coach, was on a radio station recently here, and you'll see the clip. And the rule is you cannot review a penalty if there is if there's one that needs to be called. Now there is some exceptions to that, but this wasn't one of them. So, and this is where this whole conversation is going to start, Zach. Dan Campbell was asked, did this get reviewed on the field or this come from somewhere else? And this is why some people are putting on their conspiracy theory hats, because it doesn't look like it came from the call on the field. Let's play that clip.
I want to ask you one, and I want to go back to it. I don't want to harp on just like we had talked about earlier, but when we asked you, did that call come from New York about overturning the Goff touchdown? Are you guys inquiring as to why you were told that, or inquiring as to what happened in that situation, why they went back a minute and a half later and threw the flag?
Yeah, we asked on all of that. We asked on all of it, and I can't tell you any of that.
But it was an official that told you it came from New York?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, obviously it's raised a lot of questions and concerns from the fans. I know you guys probably have a lot of those too.
So that was on 97.1, Costa and Jansen talking with head coach Dan Campbell and Zach. So here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
The rule is when New York gets involved in a reviewable play, New York meaning when they have the review assistants, it can only be a penalty, or you can call it if, let's just say, a wide receiver runs out of bounds and he comes back in and he's the first one to touch the ball, right? You can review that, and then that can be called a penalty. Or if the quarterback passes the line of scrimmage and then he throws the ball and you're trying to decide, is that an illegal forward pass, right? That can be reviewed in a scoring play. And I want to emphasize that because in this case with Jared Goff, the play or the call on the field was an illegal motion or shift on Goff, which is not reviewable. So meaning when the play happened, you can't go back and get assistance somewhere else. Now, if it was just the referees on the field, Zach, that said, hey, like, let's talk about this for a second, that's fine. And that's what everyone thought initially, right? It's like, oh, well, they're getting together and maybe there was something wrong. But then you just heard that the New York office for the officials is the one that said, hold on a second. You guys need to talk about this. And that's where fans are getting caught up because that in itself is illegal in the game. So it's woof, man. And all the people that thought that the NFL likes the Chiefs or is favoring them, well, now they got more evidence of feeling that way because of that damn scenario.
Yeah. I mean, it's the optics of this are just so horrendous. I mean, literally from the start, you get the touchdown, everyone's celebrating. They're literally on television having the head official, I forget who it was, coming on like, yeah, guys, this is a ticky-tack thing. You know, maybe you could call it too close to tell right now. Probably. They didn't catch it, and unfortunately, you can't review that. Can't review it, so this is going to stand, and I think it should stand all that. Then suddenly you see the refs huddled up, and they're like, "Oh, they're going to talk about this." Okay, and really, I think the one image everyone has is Mahomes, or not Mahomes, but them all standing there around as pretty much they're on television talking about how, hey, you can't get assistance on this. You can't get assistance. Suddenly a flag goes in the air, and even the commentators were like, oh, looks like they are going to maybe change this, going to call this. And like you said, everyone kind of brushed it under the rug because it was like, hey, they clearly talked. It was made on the field. They must have, in the moment, they're like, hey, did you see this? Did you see that? If that happens, you hate it for the Lions, but the refs did what they're supposed to do. Get together, make sure you get the call right. Knowing it comes from New York is where it's even more frustrating because let's take it back even just, a week earlier when there was the whole touchdown with Travis Kelce and, the little pick play earlier. And it's like, oh, nope, that's a flag. And then suddenly they pick that up. Did New York have something to do with that? Like, it just feels like, kind of like you said, it always happens to benefit a certain team in red. That's where it is. Like, if this happened, I'm just going to say it. If this happened in Cowboys Panthers, do we really care? I think it's the optics of it happened with the Chiefs. That now everyone, like you said, the tinfoil hats, they have to go back on because it's like that's the team we all worry about. Like, that's who we keep saying is getting these calls, and now they got another. If this was, Bryce Young called a touchdown, then it gets reversed, New York called in, we're probably like, all right, that sucks for the Panthers that got taken away, but okay. But in a big game like that, you're looking at it and you're like, oh, of course they got away with that.
So in this case too, it's not that the call on the field or the play itself was illegal, which it was. Like it was an infraction by the offense. Like, technically speaking, they got the call right, but that's not the point here. It's that once the call is made, whether it's missed or called correctly, that's not reviewable. That's the part. And then the part two is it's not reviewable, and it's a part of a game against the team that a lot of people also have question marks. And by the way, Kansas City didn't get flagged any times in that game. 0 penalties in a game. And look, I'm not a conspiracy theorist with all this, Zach. I'm not. But I do understand with the way the optics look. It's just if it's not allowed to be reviewable, then you got to let it be. I think the worst part of it all was it was almost 3 minutes of waiting around. It was like 172 seconds. So just under 3 minutes of dead time where they were trying to discuss. And that's where this whole situation goes into. But, and I want to emphasize this, the Chiefs were the better team. The Chiefs went out and played their game. The Chiefs are a dynasty. They're still going to be a Super Bowl contender, but it's just about for the NFL. Come on, man. You want to be able to, fight that narrative off. It's just, if it's bringing more attention to the Chiefs in the NFL, well, it certainly accomplished that. But in the process, it just went against one of the guidelines, which, hey, we're all about getting the call right. But if we get it wrong and it's not reviewable, we just got to live with that. But I digress, Zach. I digress.
Yeah.
Chiefs win the game. And the Lions, though, you even saw Jared Goff pointing. It's almost like him saying, like, did you get that call from upstairs?
Yeah.
I think it goes back to any sport where guys play in, all they want is consistency across the board. Call it the same no matter what. And in this case, let's just say that's not a play that or a sequence that we're used to seeing. And here we are closing out the week dealing with that. But it's over and done with. Chiefs won, Lions lost. They're moving on. Week 7 kicks off tonight, Zach, right?
Yeah.
Steelers, Bengals. And I know for everyone that's tuning in, don't you worry. We got a lot of baseball talk. But we thought, you know what? Why don't we get through the football talk and then get into the baseball, because there are some juicy subjects that are involved there. But since we are based out of Baltimore here, we probably should talk a little bit about this game tonight with the Steelers and Bengals, because it kind of affects that team in Baltimore here just a little bit. And it's crazy to think, Zach, I know you're not a fan of other teams. You rooting for little Joe Flacco action tonight?
Yeah, I think, as a Ravens fan, you got to be rooting for Flacco and the Bengals solely because, if anything, what we're about to get into and discuss, the Steelers have a lead in this division, and the more they win, the tougher it's going to be for anyone to catch them. I actually think that the Bengals have a very good chance tonight. I actually think this is going to be a good matchup. I really do. I think this is a very, I don't want to call it an intriguing game because obviously it is with all the storylines. I mean, you have two 40-plus-year-old quarterbacks. But, yeah, this is going to be – I think this is going to be a really good game. And I do think actually the Bengals pull it off. There's something about it. I'm feeling it. Joe Flacco versus the Steelers. Let's run it back.
It's actually good for you in this case, though. I see Joe's point. Zach might be.
Yes, that is also. Yes, I'm also rooting for the Bengals because of Molly. Yes. So if they win, it's a win-win.
Yeah, I wanted to get all the points out of here. Okay.
Yeah, it's a win-win. There it is.
Who would have thought, though, that Joe Flacco, Aaron Rodgers, I'm seeing here in the Icy Hot Bowl. I saw the NFL was saying, about the matchups and joking about the age and all that, and it is pretty funny that it was on my bingo card in 2025 that the Thursday night primetime game was going to be between the Bengals and the Steelers, led by Joe Flacco and Aaron Rodgers. But here we are. And it is a big matchup, though, for the Ravens, because if the Bengals win, that allows the Ravens to not necessarily lose a game. They will lose a half game regardless of the Zach.
Yeah.
When they're 5-1, compared to the Bengals would then get to 3-4 on the season. So after starting 2-0, the Bengals, when Joe Burrow went down, they continued to tank. This would be a huge matchup and a huge win. And we're going to explain why. And we're going to ask the question here in a second of what you guys think the Ravens can do or what they can't do potentially. But I appreciate our friends up at Merit Club. Shout out Merit Clubs. And if you're interested in a Black Friday savings early, check out Merit Clubs and you can enroll for $1. How do you spell enroll for $1, Zach?
MERRITT. Simple.
Oh, did I do that right this time?
Yeah, I think we got it right. I think we nailed that one.
Oh, it feels good to feel like you do things right once in a while. We work on this on the Ryan Ripken Show. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Is that a 50-Cent song? Yeah. It's not an appropriate song, but that's a Throwback Thursday song, right?
That is a Throwback Thursday song, that's for sure.
Yeah, it was before your time, Zach. I think you were 2 years old when.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm not as familiar.
Yeah, I feel bad. You really didn't have the chance to have that type of culture growing up, just of that era of hip hop and R&B. You know, I'll gladly take you down memory lane when you want to at some point, Zach.
You just name the time. I'll be there.
All right. Oh, sugar. Let's get into this. And here's the question with this NFL game tonight. Okay. If Pittsburgh wins, or if they don't win, do the Ravens realistically have a shot to come back and win this division? We already know what the record is. Ravens are 1-5.
Mm-hmm.
Pittsburgh, if they win, they move to 5-1. They still have to play each other twice. And the Pittsburgh Steelers still have a very difficult schedule down the stretch. But on ESPN on First Take, Dan Orlovsky talked about the magnitude if the Steelers were to win. But even if not, he seems pretty adamant that this is going to be their division. And a win would just further validate that there's no way another team can catch them. So, Zach, let's play that clip real quick.
All in do you want to be if I'm the Steelers? Steelers win tonight, this division's blouses. It's a wrap, okay? If you're the Steelers and you win tonight, you have I think it would be a 3.5 game lead on the division. Do you make a call to the New York Jets and see is Garrett Wilson available? Do you make a call to the Miami Dolphins and see if Jalen Waddle's available? Do you call the Saints and see if Chris Olave is available?
I like those
because
options, Dan.
This team is different than I thought they were going to be. I thought they were a playoff football team. I did.
What did you think?
I thought they were a playoff team. After I've watched them over the last 3 or 4 weeks, and now the defensive line has gotten healthy with Cam and Nate Herbig and TJ, and I watched the way this offense is playing. Last year, you remember I said, this offense can't beat the good football teams. I don't feel the way about this offense this year. This offense can beat the good football teams. And I just laid out who they are on offense. Could you imagine if they really added a number 2 viable wide receiver opposite DK Metcalf?
I've been begging for that.
Or a Waddle? They went tonight, division. I want to know how all in will Pittsburgh go to really say, we're making a no question expectation run at winning the Super Bowl.
Okay. Well, so Dan thinks that they win this game. I've never heard the term it's blouses. Was that the term?
Yeah, I've never heard it's blouses. I know it's wraps, like that's curtains. I've heard curtains, I've heard wraps.
Wrap.
Never blouses. Didn't get that one.
I still don't get it. So I might just use it out of context here so many times, you know. So Dan though thinks the division would be over if Pittsburgh wins tonight, being at 5-1. And look, I don't ever want to say that the Ravens don't have a chance because you got to go out and play the games. And if Lamar Jackson's healthy, you're telling me there's a chance? Yeah, the Ravens are probably going to be favored in every game until they go to Green Bay right after Christmas. Like realistically, Lamar plays, the Ravens are probably going to be favored. But the problem is you got a lot of games that you have to make up. And specifically, you are going to have to beat Pittsburgh twice. Like, I think that's the emphasis. And that's something that the Ravens, we know, they go to Pittsburgh, the weirdest shit happens over there, Zach. The ugliest games happen, and it's always in Pittsburgh's favor. So I'm with Dan that it would be a really uphill battle. I don't know if I'm with them on the other side of it, and I think the ironic thing, they're saying going out and get another wide receiver. Well, they did have another wide receiver.
Which is...
He's actually playing pretty well in Dallas.
And that's what we thought the plan was. I mean, to answer the original question, can the Ravens win the division? Mathematically, yes. Like mathematically, it is possible. They are going to have to, it's not in their hands, obviously, because that's what sucks about it is the Ravens could win. Let's say Pittsburgh wins tonight, loses tonight, no matter what. Ravens could win out, and they still technically don't control their destiny. So, it is in that situation where mathematically, yes, anything can happen. But you look at, kind of the schedule for the Ravens, it opens up. It would be very impressive. I actually just looked at a sports book. Pittsburgh is, I believe, minus 165 to win the division. The Ravens are actually just plus 170. So still closer than you think. But those odds, I mean, it feels like it is one of the biggest uphill climbs for the Ravens. So, yes, mathematically they could still win it. I think the best chance for the Ravens is to go on a run and sneak into that last wild card spot. It would be more on Pittsburgh if they lose this division than I think really the Ravens, or even the Bengals. If the Bengals win tonight, and Joe Flacco can keep them afloat until Joe Burrow comes back and he returns healthy, maybe they, go on a little run. Technically I could see 10, 11 wins winning this division. But once again, that revolves around Pittsburgh's got to lose some games. You can't just be like, oh, if we win out, we win the division. No, Pittsburgh still's going to, that's just 2 losses to Pittsburgh guaranteed, or 2 Pittsburgh losses if the Ravens win out. They're going to need some help from other teams. So it's going to be very intriguing to see how it all unfolds, but I'm not holding my breath for Ravens AFC North banner this year.
No. And honestly, you just got to get in the damn dance, right? But
yeah,
this is just the reality of how it's going to be. We just said if Lamar Jackson plays for the Ravens, more than likely the Ravens will be favored, in most games, right? And here's the Steelers schedule. I mean, Zach, they're not maybe they'll be favored against Green Bay, which I could see because Green Bay's, not playing that defense hasn't been as stout the last couple of weeks, but going to LA to play the Chargers, the Colts game is going to be an interesting challenge. The Bills going to play the Ravens at the bottom of the screen, which you guys can't see because it's the Welcome to the Ryan Ripken Show. Click join to become a channel member, and you should. But it's Lions at the bottom. So there's going to be games that truly are a coin flip or they will be underdogs in moving forward. But this is what Pittsburgh does then, Zach.
It's just ugly. It's so ugly. It's so gross.
They don't care. And, their games so far have kind of been that ugly style, right? They survived the winless Jets week 1. They get blown out at home against the Seahawks, which they made some mistakes. And then they beat the Patriots, who, hey, they look pretty good, but still the Pats aren't blowing teams out of the water. They got a good one in Buffalo, and now they blew out the Panthers, who can win at home but can't win on the road. And then, you beat the Vikings, which I think the Vikings have a very good coaching staff and team, but that's their signature win so far this year, in my opinion, is that you won in Minnesota. Beating the Pats in New England, we'll find out of how much of a signature win that is as we go. But, hey, it's an uphill battle whatever way you look at it. For Baltimore, you aren't going to even think about this division title. I wouldn't even think about it. You know what you got to think about? How the hell do we beat the Chicago Bears? The Bears in 2 weeks, who they now are having a little bit of belief of hey, we might be decent. We've won some games in a row. They
got momentum.
It's a real thing.
And they have hope. They have confidence. They did not play a great game against the Commanders, and in a lot of ways, the Commanders just handed them that ball game. But it's the Ravens. I think Ravens fans kind of have marked the Bears game as this get right game. Okay, Lamar comes back. Ravens beat the Bears by 40. We're good. Okay, we'll just win that game, then go from there. This is a scrappy Bears team that's pretty much playing with house money. They're still in that first year of Ben Johnson era. They're trying to figure things out. Whatever happens. I think they're actually getting the run game under control right now with DeAndre Swift. He looked great against the Commanders. So, that's a team that can be dangerous. That can be a very dangerous team.
Hey, they can. Well, and the thing is, they got nothing to lose. Like the Ravens with being the number one, being favored in the games, right? Even with it being 1-5, people have all the pressure on Baltimore. Like it's not, hey, pressure's off, Baltimore. You're 1-5. They're like, well, no, if Lamar's back, you don't make the playoff. People are going to lose some jobs. Like that's what's going to happen here. The Ravens hitting playoff mode starts
now.
Like it's on now. You are locked in. It is a week-to-week thing, and every game matters. You have to find a way to win each and every one until you're in a position. And if not, then you know what? Could get ugly in Baltimore. But we'll see. Hey, good for the Steelers. If you're a Ravens fan, well, not really. You're not enjoying that. Apparently, the Blouses comment was from the Chappelle show. So I apologize, Brooks. And yeah, where was it? Chappelle show guys, come on. You know what? I should know better. Zach was just born
I have an excuse.
a few years ago. I still can't believe how young you are sometimes. People feel older.
Yeah, people don't know I'm 25. There are people who think I'm much older.
Yeah, because you gotta facial hair adds some years, man. So that's why I thought you might be able to go down this moment in time with me back to some throwback moments. Like you didn't really get to experience Petey Pablo in his peak back in the mid 2000s. Man.
Yeah.
Oh, number one. What's up, Dominique? Well, let's continue on. And sorry, Brooks, by the way, and these are for our channel members. Brooks had half off 9 a.m. grocery store sushi.
That's a decision you made, Brooks. I don't know.
Yeah, that sounds like a you problem. And we've all been there, by the way. We've all been there. And we have to live with our decisions here. You know what, Zach? And if you're new to the channel, hit that like and subscribe button. Ryan Ripken Show. We're live every Monday and Thursday right here at 4 p.m. And Sunday we'll be live to get you ready. Actually, this Sunday will be different because the Ravens aren't playing. So we won't have to get up in the morning, technically. Hey now. But one other football topic I think we wanted to touch on before we got into – do we want to really talk about the PFF grades? I mean, people were freaking out about it. Is it worth it? Is it not?
I mean, yeah.
They are.
I think PFF grades are in that realm of they can be beneficial, but you can't live and die by them.
So if you don't know what PFF grades are, it's just when they see on the screen, like this lineman on primetime football or this player's ranked, 5th out of 117th in the grading system. That's what they're graded it off of. And a lot of players have come out and just said, hey, the analytics can bring a lot of great things, but also stop grading players because the grades are so poorly. Like Kenneth Walker got a better grade than Bijan Robinson got, and Bijan had 180 yards and Kenneth had 30. I guess the point of the grades was trying to say, hey, the players actually, there's only so much that they can control. But having said that, I'm going to give the game to the guy that put up 230 total yards. And by the way, Bolly's bet hit on that. Congrats, by the way.
Well, yeah, thank you. Yeah, 4 straight with the throwback. So we'll see if we can keep it going later in the show. So stick around for maybe 5 straight.
Whoa, 5.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
You got 5 on it?
I got 5 on it.
You knew that.
Yeah. I surprise people sometimes.
Look at us. Oh, sugar. Well, I'm curious what my mom's throwback songs are going to be when she comes in. And she's going to talk a little bit about the postseason with baseball. And because we got to talk about it also what's happening out in Seattle. That's a little sneak peek.
Yeah.
Because all eyes are on the mascot.
Yeah.
All eyes are on the mascot. But you know what? As we finish up the football talk, all eyes, I guess, technically have been on the Rams at Camden Yards if you're in Baltimore. And all eyes are on this photo specifically where Matthew Stafford's humming one in off the mound. But the bigger part of this whole thing is that sign reads, if you can't read it or you're listening on Spotify and Apple, there's a giant in bold, please, and then underneath, no cleats on tarp. And so this drew a huge buzz because Matthew Stafford's on there. He's wearing cleats. Now, I do want to say he is, I'm pretty sure, wearing plastics, like plastic cleats. However, the sign, the throw, the irony, got a lot of people feeling some type of way, Zach.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like you said. I get it. It's the whole. It's not, I guess, the loophole, like the plastic cleat. I just think it's hysterical that like this became the picture because it's just so like. I want to know. I forget the Rams writer who took the picture, but I don't know if it was like supposed to be the funny aspect of it or if it was like took the picture, posted, and then it's like, oh, I didn't realize that sign was there. But I think it's one of those off season in Baltimore where the Ravens are 1-5 storylines where I don't think this matters to anyone if it's not. I think it's just more. It's funny. I know some people are actually upset about it. I just think it's funny that it was like that sign is so clearly in the picture. And the Rams posted a different angle with which did include the sign. But I will say, very, very, very weird. Like here, I'll just put this image up as well. Like these images like break my mind. Like you see the
hey now.
The Rams, and then it's like in the back, it's like Oriole Park at Camden Yards. It's like it's not where, or just the Rams have been posting obviously all these practice clips or practice photos, and in the back I'm like, that's the left field wall. I'm like, why are we, or like the warehouse in the background, and I'm like, my mind is not putting this together that this is the same place. Like it's just
it's different. Look, I gotta say, like, I think it actually looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
I will say, going back to the Stafford photo, if you were going to tell me that an LA player was going to be pitching on the bump in Baltimore in October, you would have thought, yeah, because the Orioles are playing the Dodgers in the World Series, baby. No, it's just the quarterback of the Rams and the Orioles. There's no postseason baseball happening in Baltimore, but at least Camden Yards is being put to good use. It's been a little vacant here. And actually, unfortunately for Orioles fans, it's been vacant this time of year, championship series time for about a decade. So, you know what? I guess it's insult to injury or injury to insult. I don't know. Salt to the wound. Maybe that's the phrase.
Yeah, that's probably it.
Blouses, Zach. It's blouses.
Yeah, blouses for that tarp after all the cleats on. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, blouses. But it does make you think, like, could Camden Yards be used for a bowl game?
No.
I don't think it's long, or the dimensions would play.
Yeah, because on the, what's it called? They only play on, like, I saw the picture. There's like a 50-yard section field and then a 30-yard section field. So I don't think so. But the Yankees do it.
They do.
I think they would have to get creative because they were very clearly trying not to have anything, I think, on the infield. You'd have to go across the infield and have at least part of it on infield. But if I'm going to say no because I just would hate how that would mess up actually, you know what? I would go there to watch some football. I don't know what I'm saying. If there was a bowl game at Camden Yards, I would be there.
You would would be there. 100.
I was going to talk about, like, I was like, it's going to mess up the field and all that. And I was like, who cares? It's going to be in like December. January. So yeah, I would definitely I would partake in a bowl game at Camden Yards.
Yeah, you'd be slosh. You'd be like Turkey Bowl level excited.
I've had some friends go to the Pinstripe Bowl in New York, and they say it's a very weird, like your mind kind of like with these pictures, you're like walking around a baseball stadium, and then you're looking out, and you're like, this is a football game. Like, I don't know, that would be fun.
It would displace you, but hey, I'd be all for it. I'm just saying here. And you know what? The Rams beat the Ravens. Ravens defense played the best game they have all year besides against the Browns, but against a Super Bowl caliber or a Super Bowl aspiring team like the Rams. It's a good effort, but unfortunately, Ravens, too many issues, too many mistakes to come out with a victory. They dropped to 1-5. But as we'll pivot to the baseball side here in a second here.
Yeah, real fast though, because this is
that was real fast.
I know there was kind of rumors that Curt Cignetti was going to be potentially the next Penn State head coach. That was their main guy. Cignetti in Indiana just agreed to a 8-year mega deal.
That's awesome.
So yeah, he's making about $11.6 million a year. Runs through 2033. So he's not going to, I'm happy about that. If Curt Cignetti would have made Indiana into this powerhouse and then just done the classic jump to the bigger Big Ten school, I like this. I love this. I'm all in on that.
I love his press conferences too.
Yeah.
I am all about it. I'm all about it. And it's good for the game. It is. Yeah. You know, Penn State's going to pay somebody else $50 million for a buyout.
Matt Ruley. It's going to be Matt Ruley.
You saying Matt Ruley intentionally?
Matt Rule. Yeah. I've always called him Ruley. Matt Rule will get it. Well, I think that.
I thought you were going with that just that was a thing, you know? But
No. I just have always pronounced it Ruley, even when I know it's Rule.
Yeah. Okay, so you do understand that it's not pronounced that way. That's just how you pronounce it.
So yeah, I've just always said Ruley. I think there was some clip about it when he was that time where the Panthers tried to be like, oh, we're going to outsmart everyone and bring this college coach in.
Yeah, that could be a conversation for a different day about how many times that works and actually does work, doesn't work. That actually head coaches that have had success from college to the NFL. The only one, because I just saw him and it was a highlight, Pete Carroll. All Pete Carroll right there. Hey, how you doing? But before we get into the baseball, I did want to shout out Next Move Charm City, because even though the game did not go as planned for the Ravens and the Rams, Next Move Charm City allowed us to give away 2 tickets. And Shannon here posted this photo. How we doing? They won.
Yeah.
So they went on behalf of the giveaway from Next Move Charm City and the Ryan Ripken Show. And we're going to have more opportunities for giveaways or items. Who knows what that's going to be in store, but make sure you're following us on Instagram and Facebook for an opportunity to win. And if you're looking to make your next move with Next Move Charm City. Hey, how you doing? Shout out Brett Ritchie, Shannon Toback, and shout out the Belanger team over there at Lone Depot. When I move, you move, Zach.
Just like that.
Just like that. And let's move on into some baseball talk here. I gotta have a little water here. So I put out a video last night because you know what? People were wondering, Zach, for the longest time, when were the Orioles gonna, get in that discussion for their managerial vacancy? When are we going to hear more? Okay, and people would check their watch or check their phone and be like, okay, where is it? Time's flying. And then all of a sudden in the last 2 days, last 4 days, it was first, Ryan Flaherty is going to be potentially rumored to be in the running for the Padres and the Orioles openings. Then it was the Orioles interviewed Luis Rojas, third base coach for the New York Yankees. And now, stop traffic, the Orioles have expressed interest in Albert Pujols, and the source being Alden Gonzalez and Jeff Passan. And so I talked about this last night, Zach. So Albert Pujols has already expressed the interest with the Los Angeles Angels to be their next manager. And then all of a sudden you're sitting here going, okay, is this smoke and mirrors? Like, what are you trying to sell me here? But like, let's dive a little bit deeper, because last night I don't know if I'm on board with this, or not that I'm not on board. I seen it happen, but am I going to tell you there's a chance? Sure, because you need to turn over every stone. But let's go to why it could happen, right? Let's go why it could. Why Albert Pujols could be the next manager for the Orioles? Well, there is a St. Louis connection. If we want to take it back now, y'all. Do you know what song that is?
Yeah, 2 hops this time.
Boom, boom. Well, Mike Elias, when we take it back, St. Louis Cardinals and the scouting department there. Albert Pujols spent time over there in St. Louis. Pretty well known as a Cardinal, some would say. Most known as a St. Louis Cardinal. So you have that, and then what about the connection with John Mabry, who was on the Orioles staff, joined this year, spent his time with the Cardinals? If we really want to get some more theories involved with this, could Albert Pujols bring in a guy like Yadier Molina? Could you bring some guys in, some old veterans that have been around the game, and bring that baseball feel? And they're old enough where there's a difference between the players today and the manager, but he's young enough to connect with those guys still. And could there be a blend of analytics thrown in? Yeah, I mean, like I could see it, Zach. Like there's the angles.
Yeah. I mean, I think especially with this, the biggest thing that I'm looking at is truly it seems like the Orioles are leaving no stone left unturned. I mean, we're talking about Flaherty. We're talking about Pujols, who actually earlier today, it was reported by, let me make sure I get the correct reporting, but he is also, I guess, by Mike Rodriguez, the Padres are also interested in him. So this is a hotter commodity than maybe people think. I think kind of going into the offseason, the thought or the assumption was, okay, that's the Angels' next manager. That seems to be what they want, seems to be what Albert wants. That's the Angels' next manager. Now it seems like more people are involved, and could maybe a bidding war happen? Could he go nowhere? Obviously, anything in between. It's going to be interesting to see how this unfolds, because I think he's going to be one of those guys that maybe he's the first domino to fall. I'm kind of getting that vibe from him. Maybe he's going to be a guy who can pick his place, which is not really something that I saw happening even just a few weeks ago. It felt like he was very meant for the Angels. Like that was a done deal. We were just waiting for the ink to dry. I like that they are looking everywhere, and like what you said, I think it brings a lot of different possibilities. Could we now see maybe former players now joining? I mean, not that there's really as much of a connection or anything, but you now see a guy like Manny Ramirez, who now is apparently told, according to John Heyman, all 30 ball clubs, hey, I will be your hitting coach. So that's where I'm kind of at, is it seems like there's almost this shift again of the new thing is to get that former player, that hot up-and-comer, to come lead your ball club for hopefully the next 10, 15 years, like a Stephen Vogt. I mean, I can tell you, Cleveland fans are definitely happy about that former player being hired and what he's done there. So really, I guess the word I'd use for this is interesting. I don't know if this is the best route to go. I don't think this is the worst route to go, but I'm interested to see how it unfolds. And if they do pick Albert, I'm going to be more than interested in the kind of wherever he goes. Is it here? Is it, in San Diego? Is it just out in LA? I'm so intrigued by the staff he put together, kind of what you just said.
Yeah, I mean, it makes you think. It puts your thinking hat on. I was trying to think if I could find a hat. All I found was my Rooster Kyle. But for the bird, here's the bird. Hey now. But for the birds, you do sit there and you wonder, right? And the possibilities, and it's not that players can't go from, especially great players, can't go to be great managers. But one thing I wanted to point out, and I think it is an important part to discuss, and I saw some people yesterday, talk about, for me and why, you're still defending Manzolino and, blah, 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 blah. I think Manzo got a bad rep regardless in the situation, because whoever was going to be the manager to step in after Brandon Hyde during the season last year, buddy, I ain't hoping that for you, because it was rough. And the ones that were going to call for Buck Britton to jump in there, dude, there was so much toxic issues going on last year. And when you're losing, it was brutal. And yes, Manzo could have handled certain things better, but what he did have in the process was the players' respect. They loved him, and they did battle. So I just want to point that out there. Like, he's still going to be in the running for this. But why getting a fresh pair of eyes from somewhere else is so important is because you want to be able to come in and be able to build this culture back up. So when Stephen Vogt entered into the Guardians, since you brought him up, yeah, he was a culture setter. And they already, though, to be fair to Cleveland, their organization already had a very good reputation. Why? I mean, they had Terry Francona there before. They had success as an organization. And here's one more thing that Cleveland had that's different than this Baltimore team. And yes, I know the Orioles finished in last place in 2025. But guess what? The Orioles' expectations are to get right back on the horse, win that division, and go make a run in the postseason. That's the expectation for this team next year, Zach. It's not, we'll see what happens. And that's what Stephen Vogt at least had working in his favor, is that they thought Cleveland could be good. But there's no expectation for them to be the top dog in the American League, or let alone then like the AL Central. And they did.
Yeah.
And even this past year, Zach, the Guardians weren't the team that was favored to win the division. It was the Twins. So I want to point that out. So if Albert comes in, or anybody like that, the pressure for Baltimore is they need to win.
Yeah.
We need to find a way to win. This isn't hey, we're rebuilding. No. We are getting back to the postseason. We are getting back to winning baseball. And if the Orioles struggle out the gate, or they're struggling during the season, things are going to get very tense. And so that's something that has to be factored into this scenario. But I do like the fact, though, Zach, they have interviewed, at least they've been connected to some guys with a good background, with diversified skill sets. But I do really think the big part here, if they don't hire Albert Pujols, I think having some more guys in that dugout that have been around the game for a long time. I thought when the O's lost Freddie Gonzalez, that was a huge loss.
Massive.
Back. And I do think that's something that's interesting. John Mabry, to me, I think can be an X factor. I think one way or another, he's going to be back next year. I don't know if they come out and said that or whatever it is, but John Mabry, it was a great addition to this team. So
I mean, I'll ask you, would it be weird, or not even weird, like does Mabry get an opportunity? Like, is he a guy that maybe we should be talking about is like getting interviews? Like, is he a guy that, let's just say, we've talked about him being an X factor, and we've spent months, even during the season, talking about the impact he's had. Is he a guy that you could see the Orioles saying, hey, we want to get your input and we're going to interview you for this job?
I mean, I think they should do their due diligence. I don't know if that would be the case or what we would see. I think I'll be honest. I got to ask this question, Zach, of like what I'd want to see. I honestly really have no idea. And I know I see Joe's comment. My Uncle Bill would be a hell of a manager, but I don't see that being the case.
I just want the press conferences.
Yeah. Well, like why when I see my Uncle Bill's name be referenced, it's not that the family member. I know how Bill works. I know how Bill thinks. I know how he would teach the game and where the fundamentals of it and what they need to do. So why I'm saying that, I think that the Orioles, whatever's going to be the case, Zach, is that needs to be the focus, is how you play the game. Go get your starting pitching. Go have that infrastructure and have your guys back to playing fundamentally sound baseball. And if you do that, I think then it's going to make whoever the manager's job easier. And quite frankly, I think I'm very open to whoever it's going to be. I'm more open for Manzo coming back for that exact reason. But I think regardless of who the manager is, if you don't create that infrastructure and philosophical change from within, it's not going to matter who you bring in from the outside. Because great managers, while they're able to be great, they also have an infrastructure that allows them to continue to raise this team. The Orioles right now, they're trying to find an identity, get back to fundamental ball, and then on top of it, you want someone to take you to the next level. It's more than one thing here that I wanted to emphasize for people. You know, you want to look at and say, hey, managers, they're supposed to elevate the play around them. And yeah, you know what? You have a guy that can right the ship, no doubt about it. But if you have guys in your organization that aren't ready for the next level, like here's the other example. I look at the great organizations that already had stability. Tampa Bay Rays, they've had stability. They make changes. Their guys in their organization come up and have success to help the team. They're ready. They're wired. The Brewers have been so well run for so long. And I think Pat Murphy is a great manager. That was a great hire for them. But when he got hired, Zach, was anyone thinking, well, that's going to be the guy that's going to lead this team? No. He was a great candidate. But the thing that allowed them to get to where they wanted to do was he was a great baseball mind and a good fit, but their infrastructure was already in place. The Orioles' infrastructure, while they have the talent, they need to change what's their core philosophical ways to play. If they get that figured out, it's going to allow whatever manager to come in to try to shine. So we could talk about that for days, months, years, weeks, or even whenever the hell we find out when it happens here. But Albert Pujols is one name that the Orioles fans will watch. I still think it's more of a leverage play that he goes to the Angels. You're talking about an opportunity. Hey, you change the things in Baltimore and you get back to playing fundamental ball, the Orioles opening would be one of the most coveted jobs to have. Why? Because this team can be really good. Can be.
I mean, is there any – I mean, this is – let's say Manzo gets the job and all that. And, you know, we've talked about it before, even earlier this week where I said, you know, my biggest concern is if they just run it back with the same staff, all of that. So, you know, that's where, you know, I think there would need to be moves if they do keep Manzo. But my biggest question to you before we kind of switch gears is, do you think, you know, one of the things for me about keeping Manzo is kind of the pressure as well that it puts, because if you have a new guy, you come in, let's say, you know, the Orioles, hell, they even go over their first 20 games, they go 9-11, 8-12. You know, nothing but 3 games under 500. If it's a different manager, it's okay, need time, we're still in this, all this. They 20, 15 games into the season, they're sitting under 500 with Manzo. People are calling for his job. You know, people are like, I'm done with this. And I feel like that's also the pressure that it puts on the organization of like, hey, we're keeping Manzo. And I'm not saying that's fair, because I agree with you. I think Manzo's gotten a bad rep. I think he is a very good candidate. I mean, they've talked about before, he's gotten interviews to go up the ranks prior to him being an interim coach. So I just thought I just think that's a lot of and it's not that it should make their decision, but there will be, I feel like, this added pressure to Manzo to win out of the gate, to kind of put fans at ease. I mean, now he could go out there, they keep him, they go and start the season 16-5, and you're like, oh, this was perfect. You know, Manzo, he got to, run his own team, all that. But I do worry about how quickly things could turn sour. And, if suddenly Manzo gets the interim tag removed, he goes in this season, they just kind of sputter just a bit out of the starting blocks, that things could turn quickly.
Yeah, and to close this out, I really think and wholeheartedly, I think the most pressure, regardless if the team doesn't do well, is not going to be the manager that comes in. It's going to be on the front office. It's going to be on the people, because now the case is you went through all of this, and if it's Manzo, Pujols, whoever it could be, right? Rojas, Flaherty, or someone else that hasn't been named so far. If the Orioles don't go and play well next year and guys regress, they're not going to look at the manager, in my opinion. They're going to look more so of being like, you had health. If the Orioles are healthy and they don't reach expectations and players regress, I guarantee, or I shouldn't guarantee, but I have a strong feeling they ain't going to be pointing at who the manager is. They're going to be pointing at, well, how did this development of these players get there? Because that, again, goes back to the core. Can you develop your players and philosophically have them play better fundamental ball to win games? And if you don't do that, your manager ain't going to do it, and he ain't going to be the savior. And I think that's what people have to realize. But if you're new to the channel, hit that like and subscribe button. Ryan Ripken Show. We're live every, what day is it? Thursday. And we're live on Monday from 4 to 6 p.m. Eastern time, and on Sundays when the Ravens are playing. And sometimes we do it live on Friday, but this episode will be out on Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts the day of. But listen in on YouTube, X, and Facebook. So, Zach, Ma's here. So she's going to take my spot here in a second. And then I was going to say, fumbled. Do you want to be – if you need to be able to hear Zach, Mom, you can use my headphones. Does that scare you? Yeah. Does that scare you a little bit? A little bit? Yeah? Okay. She's terrified. Hey, Zach, for a quick minute while we're getting this all situated, explain to our viewers of how they can be guests here, or not guests, be channel members here on the Ryan Ripken Show and Ryan Ripken Media channel.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah. So if you already see a few people in the chat, you see Laura, you see Gary Williams, Stolen Lawn Furniture, all of these people with green in the chat, they are channel members. We had to kind of revamp our channel member system and what all goes into that, the perks you get, but pretty much go over next to subscribe, hit that member, join membership. You're going to get exclusive live streams. We even, on some shows, we've started experimenting after about 2 hours, cutting it off to become just members only. We'll have members only chats, members only specific live streams, behind the scenes content. You will get to see content earlier. So we've had interviews with some of the greats in Major League Baseball. You will get to see that stuff before anyone. You'll get to see uncut, unedited things that we are doing and kind of get a sneak peek into everything that the Ryan Ripken Show's doing, whether that's on screen or behind. So hit that channel member, help us help you. People helping people. Everything goes back into the show so that we can make this the best possible show. So appreciate everyone who is already a member. And if you are not already, you can go next to the subscribe button, hit join member, and you will start seeing all the perks you get. So appreciate everyone. And in just a few short moments, we will get back to your regularly scheduled programming on the Ryan Ripken Show, talking Major League Baseball playoffs, maybe a little mascot frenzy. I don't know. Did the Mariners ruin the vibes? Did the Mariners find a way to ruin the Humpy vibe? We'll find out. We're going to talk about it. But one last time, if you're new, if you want to become a member, help us out just a little bit. Join the membership button right next to subscribe, and join the fun. Join the fun. Appreciate though, everyone. It is still, if you just want to hit that like and subscribe button, that works as well. So while they're getting situated, you have a little moment. I see Ryan behind. He's trying to figure things out. He's trying to. So yeah. Also stay tuned because Molly's bets, we're going for five straight later. Probably in the next 25, 30 minutes. So stick around, see what I'm betting tonight. Big game between the Bengals and Steelers. I'm watching them try to figure this out. I'm not going to bring them on screen, but watching them behind the screen right now is is very interesting. That's for sure. But we'll see what they do. No, we got Bolly's bets today. So we'll be I'll be doing that when we go over and talk about our trip up to Hollywood Casino in West Virginia. When we do all of that, I'll give out my Bolly's bets. Little sneak peek though, it's a Bengals player. It's a Bengals player. So there's your sneak peek into Bolly's bets, and we'll go from there. Put in the chat who you think wins tonight, though. Well, I have control of the chat. We rocking with the Bengals or the Steelers? Bengals or Steelers? Let us know in the chat. I think the Bengals win this one. I just feel like also I just saw the Bengals how their end zones, the all white end zones. That sick. I'm feeling even better about it. Where's the Bengals? I can't find it now. That's so embarrassing. Let's see.
Is that? Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can. This has been an interesting situation here.
Oh yeah, I've been given a semi play-by-play. I was like, we're working. I was like, we're working through it.
All right, let's see if we can test 1, 2. Ma, you there?
Yeah, 1, 2.
Can you hear?
Boom.
Hold on. Can you hear her, Zach?
Yeah.
Yep, I can hear her.
Okay. Yeah.
Ma.
Hey, first thing I'm going to do, Zach, is buy some new some headphones and earpieces. Just saying.
What are you trying to
I don't know where these came from, but
they came from Amazon. They came from Amazon, and they were a good deal. But hey, Mama Rip in the house here. Kelly Ripken is joining us now live.
Hi guys.
We're back.
We're back.
We're so back.
I'm happy to be back. Thank you for having me back.
It's the Mama Ripken show is on that.
I got my llama do going on.
Yeah, here, let me move the mic a little closer to you.
I got my llama mama do.
There you go.
On.
There we go.
There you go.
Perfect.
Speak a little bit more into the mic. Hello.
Hello.
There it is. There it is. Beautiful. Well, Ma, we just talked. We talked obviously about some baseball.
Yep.
Management, Orioles, sports.
Yep.
We are going to get a little bit into some other baseball topics here. And this actually might be a good topic for you specifically, because I know we can have fun with it, because that's what's happening right now in the playoffs. So for those that don't know, and actually too, Mom, this can give you a little bit of time, because before we get into baseball as well, or later on, it's Thursday, and I asked people in the chat some throwback Thursday songs, like from the past. There's some grooving ones.
Okay.
And I was talking about some inappropriate ones that I listened to. But
no.
Yeah.
No, that's not true, Zach.
It was.
Inappropriate songs?
Yeah.
Not my son.
Him, never. No, not him.
I don't think so.
To the window.
Yeah, to the wall.
To the wall. And we're not going to finish that song. All right. Let's go into this, though, real quick then. Postseason baseball is continuing on. It's Jays, Mariners, Mom. Then we have the Dodgers and the Brew Crew.
Yeah.
Dodgers kind of look like a wagon. They're going to most likely win this thing.
That's usually how that goes.
Yeah, but you know what? I want Zach to explain this to you, because there's something happening with a mascot out in Seattle.
Loving the mascots. You go, Zach. I want to hear it.
Well, and that's the thing.
Here we go.
Share some of your thoughts on some mascots. But for everyone out there that's wondering, well, what the hell are you guys talking about? Zach, the Mariners and the Mariners fan base believe their season hangs in the balance of Humpy.
Yes. So Humpy, I know he's a salmon, but I don't know how to classify. He's a part of the live action, I guess, between the 6th or 7th inning, kind of like the Orioles do a live action hot dog race. They have a bunch of different fish race each other. And Humpy's claim to fame was he was 0-165. He had never won. So like usual in the final game, game 5 of Tigers Mariners, they went out there in the 6th or 7th inning. Humpy lost again. The game goes to the 15th. Someone decides we're going to rerun the race. A second fish race is happening. and for the first time ever, Humpy wins. They have Humpy win for the first time ever. It goes to 1 in 165. That same inning, the Mariners walk it off. Humpy's a hero. He's going out there. He literally was at the Seattle Kraken's opening night in Seattle as like the ambassador for he's getting on all these things. I saw him like going on different shows, like national shows, stories written about him, and he's become like the rooting force for the Mariners. They go on, win their next 2, go up 2-0. Then things yesterday, now we got a dark twist in it all. Humpy wins again, and the Mariners lose. So they had Humpy win back-to-back fish races, and now there are questions of if they've overdone. Should Humpy have just retired? Are they overdoing it? Is it so now Mariners fans are trying to figure out a way to get the Humpy magic back because they think he should not have won a second time. Should have been one and done, keep the vibes going. So, it's what's great about baseball.
Humpy.
It's a lot of pressure on Humpy.
A lot of pressure on Humpy.
Hey, can we, Zach, do you mind finding a photo? So, Mom, you can see on my laptop, right?
Yep.
So, Zach, can we show my mom what Humpy looks like? And that's weird asking my mother. It's a fish.
Here is Humpy after his victory in the 15th.
I've seen him. Yeah.
Look at that thing. Yeah. Look at that guy. And the moose.
No, I love that he has a life jacket on.
That actually a life jacket?
Yeah.
Yeah, he wears a life jacket and floaties because he's supposed to not be the brightest one, so I think he needs help swimming.
Yeah, so he can stay afloat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. So I understand the dilemma here. So it's essentially, do you believe in superstitions when it comes to baseball? And Mom, I'm very superstitious when it comes to the game. You know that I have my things. I got to eat the same thing, or I got to do some other things.
It's when you're on the on-deck circle.
Yes.
Okay, there's 2 things. When you're on most players actually, from watching lots of baseball over the years, but on-deck circle, there's a certain
routine
pattern or routine that they'll do, that a player will do. And then for you in particular, once you're in the batter's box, how many times you're going to do, I don't know if people can see me do this, but you had this habit of like, you put your hand out.
Yep.
You got bat in your hand, and then you this to the pitcher, the hand. I mean,
I'd stretch the hammy, by the way, too.
A good could even go up to about 10 times. And you're like, okay, we're ready. But they do. Everybody has their own thing.
Yeah.
And a lot. It is. That's very true.
Yeah. So in that case too, by the way, Zach, the other things I added into it was I would stretch my hammy because you know what, I'm built for speed. So I made sure the hamstring got stretched every single time I went there, lean down, give it a good stretch. And then, I did have a couple infield singles in my day as well, Zach. So if you want to look those up, actually, Alec Boehm on the Phillies, I was too fast for him when he was playing third base. So I just wanted to point that out there. But back to the mascot conversation.
Okay, yeah.
Because this is the superstition part we wanted to get to.
Zach's question, though, was, or the Seattle Mariners fans, right, Zach, are asking, well, should it have been one and done? Should we give them another chance? Where should we have ended this? Right?
Was it too much?
Yeah.
Was it too much Humpy?
Yeah, I think people are just concerned of like, the vibes were so great. Like Humpy won his, but then they had him go out and win it immediately.
Well, that's a loaded question.
If we're sitting,
do we have? Was it too much Humpy? Some people may think, no, absolutely not. I think Humpy should just keep going. I think, Zach, I think probably a lot of people are going to say that. However, the other ones who are saying, you know what, just a little, one too many Humpies. Too many humps.
Yeah.
Humpies.
So here's the dilemma here, right? Here's a dilemma that I think everyone in the nation, if you're a Mariners fans, feeling, Mom, was there too much Humpy for the Mariners?
Yeah. Well,
or or because then he won, so it's good voodoo.
Yep.
Humpy won again. It turned it back off to bad.
Yeah.
And the Blue Jays went out there and dominated. And now it's like, do you flip the switch back on? Do you let him go out there and be a peacock, or in this case, I was gonna say be a peacock and fly.
So I actually just got a text. My dad just texted me.
Yeah, Zach.
So the whole point of I didn't shout out my father. So Humpy is a pink salmon or a humpback salmon. So a Humpy is the nickname for a pink salmon. I did not know that.
Yep.
That makes way more sense. I thought the PR team.
I appreciate that. That's good.
This is the
information.
intel. This is
No,
the intel.
No, in other words, should it go, back upstream, right? Or is it right? Because salmon go upstream. Maybe I'm wrong about that. Don't they?
Yeah, they go up. Yeah. They swim upstream.
We have to maybe
So
let's go in the harbor and catch some
No,
salmon.
I think I think we should let Humpy, swim upstream a little bit. I mean, what are you going to do? He brought him. Everybody was rooting for him and thinking this is why we won. Okay, so one game. Okay, maybe maybe he was just floating at the time. So, and with his little life vest on, that cute little life.
You know what he
vest?
looks like too, Mom? Like I was a big SpongeBob guy growing up, as you know, as you're well aware of. For me,
Yeah?
but he kind of reminds me, Zach, of the fish in SpongeBob that like no one knows their name
my
and they
gosh.
just go like,
Yeah.
me.
Yeah, that's
but
it.
Yep. Me.
but it's maybe, but it's a
I
salmon.
think he deserves another chance.
Okay, so we're calling here. We're calling for one more victory for Humpy.
One more swimming upstream. Yeah.
He's swimming upstream
Yeah.
one more time.
Yeah.
And if they do, Mom, because here's the thing. In Seattle, Seattle's the only team that hasn't gone to the World Series.
I know. Yeah, that I'm aware
That's
of
what I'm
that.
saying. It's the only team.
No, I know, and I really like Seattle. I mean, I do. I love the stadium. I love the city. I love the people. I've always enjoyed going there. Still do. Love going there. And obviously the actual mascot, the moose, which I love. Always,
the Moose is a great mascot.
always love the moose.
Great
mascot. But no, I mean, I love that town, and I'd love to see that happen for them. But on the flip side of it too, Toronto, love
The Blue Jays.
Well, I love the Blue Jays. We talked about it last week. Cleanest ballpark, hands down. Hands down. Nice people, beautiful ballpark. I will say, I don't know, is the hotel still out there in the outfield?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
okay.
Well,
Yeah.
and also the prices, Mom. It was $1,500 a night to stay in the hotel.
Well, you want
or
to know
something
why?
like
Because you get a little show with that. You
What-
not only get to watch the game, but you get to see what's going on in the rooms.
that. There you have it.
No, because in the beginning when they built that hotel, they I don't know if people were realizing that anybody sitting in the stands could see them.
Oh, you were talking about you got a show
Yeah, no,
as a fan.
as a fan.
Oh, sugar.
Yeah, as a fan, not only do you get to watch the game, but you get to watch what's going on in the hotel, in the rooms, because if people don't close the drapes, you can see everything. Just saying.
Okay, so
Just
here's
saying.
a couple
So,
things.
it's a double whammy up there in Toronto. I mean, you're getting a big bang for your buck. That's all I'm going to say. Literally. Yeah. They might have, figured that out by now, but, in my view, that's what was going on up there. No,
Yeah, it's interesting that today
it's true.
today was the day that we were going to also that we're talking about hotels and putting on a show, and it's the day we also talked about Humpy trying to win out there in Seattle. It's just
all
sometimes
fitting.
it's meant
You
to be.
See, it's fitting. Both teams got
Yep.
a little something going on there.
So you know what?
Just saying.
Are you not entertained this ALCS for the playoffs? Are you not entertained if you're a fan of these teams right now, Zach? This is what you hope for. Now, Zach, Mom, you're enlightening him on what his experiences could be going to Toronto.
Go Toronto, boy. You're getting your money's worth.
Yeah.
And it's clean. Like I said, it's super clean. I love that stadium, and I love the city. The people, the food. I love everything about Toronto too. It's a lot of fun.
It's a lot of fun. You know what, though, too? It's one of these teams, which I love in baseball this year, Mom. And Zach, we've talked about this all the time. Besides the Dodgers, which they look like the Monstars from Space Jam, and they're going to go on and go to the World Series.
America's team.
Are you talking about the Dodgers?
Yeah.
Well, it's not just America's team. It's like the world.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah. That's
Because
true.
Japan is.
That's right.
They are the international Dodgers. They're
Yes.
no longer Los Angeles. They are the world Dodgers.
That's true.
But
Good point.
Zach, I think you and I are on the same page of, I think the Dodgers are probably going to win this series. Like, it kind of feels like that's what's going to happen. If you watch Yamamoto and Blake Snell pitch in this series, the star power on the mound, they were lights out. They couldn't hit them. And then the Dodgers just have too much. But the Blue Jays and Mariners, like, you actually sit there and go, okay, Toronto bounced back. They struck back in Game 3. Game 4 is going to be very interesting. But I'll tell you what, this would really hurt Seattle if they can't break through, because it's been 24 years since they actually been back to the ALCS, and they still are the last remaining Major League Baseball team to have a taste of the Fall Classic. So I don't know. I'm sitting here wondering. I know if it was going to go off the mascots, Mom, would you lean then for Seattle or for Toronto?
You mean with mascots?
So you picked the other day, and we'll say that you picked the Jaguars and the Chiefs. You chose the Jags because of the uniforms.
Yeah, they're better uniforms.
Would you?
And guess what? And who won?
Right. So in this
She's
case,
right.
In a spectacular win, I might add.
it was phenomenal.
Was
so
it
I'm
not?
asking you, who, if we're Jays and Mariners, does it come down to the mascots here?
Okay, well, it's coming down to the mascots. It's Seattle, because I love the Moose. I love him.
Look at
He's
him
the-
right there.
I-
He's the unsung hero.
He's just the cutest. No, he's great. I love the mascot. Love the Moose mascot. The Blue Jay. It's nice, but I like the Moose. So if we're going with mascot, we're just choosing mascots for which team do I think is going to win because of that? It's the Moose. It's the Mariners.
Zach, do we remember what the Moose's name is?
No, let me.
Get up.
I don't know if he has a name. I mean,
he's gotta have a name.
like the Oriole bird is just called the Oriole bird.
Yeah, I know. How original.
His name is Mortimer Moose.
Oh, Mortimer Moose. Oh, he does have a
Mortimer
name.
Moose. So you call him Morty and Humpy? Is that the name of them?
Ooh. Also, I'm not gonna lie. I'm just for the first time. I don't think I'd ever seen the Blue Jays mascot until I just looked him up, and yeah, this guy's getting destroyed by that moose.
Can we see that?
Yeah.
Can we see the comps for our audience here? And then
Yeah.
big baseball talk with Mom. You get to jump in on this baseball topic because it's kind of a little spicy one here. Around analytics and baseball and sports.
Wait, are we off the mascots now?
No, we're not off because Zach's pulling up. Don't worry, Zach's about to pull up.
Because I have to say my favorite mascot,
okay,
which has nothing to do with any of the playoffs, but
we will get to that to close it out.
just
Because
saying.
Zach wanted to say he just doesn't think the Blue Jays mascot has the it factor. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, I got him here. I'm pulling it up right now. It's just,
Blue Jay.
I don't know. I just don't. I'm not in on this.
You're not in on the Blue Jay? Hold on.
No,
Mike.
it's just,
Hold up.
it's not.
Yeah.
I wish I had a better full body picture of him.
We should have brought him out.
We do have
We have all the mascots in plush form.
So one of these days, Mom, we're gonna go through each of that collection.
Okay.
Some of the guys, Zach found some. See, there's
there he is. Yeah.
actually I
No, he's got he's got something going on there.
I like it.
Uh-huh.
I like it.
I do like it. He kind of looks a little like a duck and a bird.
He does have a little
think it's
Oregon duck
The
quality.
the beak thing going on, but
Hold on, I gotta get the full body. This is where I lose it here. I'll try to put this up. I just there's let me.
Yeah, give us all the angles here. We want to really there he
Oh,
is.
I don't.
okay. And
Credit
I
MLB
just-
photos. Credit MLB
Okay.
photos.
Okay. Yep.
The pants is okay. Time out. We got to talk about this.
That's what I'm saying. That's where it loses me.
really in that uniform?
Is that Rocco?
In the uniform, we just don't know it. Are you going to spoof? Is this a spoof?
Are you saying
Is he dressed up as the Blue Jay right now? And you guys just not telling me?
Does that look like a Rocco power stance? Hey, everybody.
A little bit.
Hey, everyone.
Yeah, a little bit.
See, it also looks like he's wearing some sweatpants.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I just don't think the fit goes together well.
They're cut at the bottom. You know, they're cut. They're like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Yeah. That's a great, Halloween costume, which, we can talk about next week. But
Yeah, spooky season.
Well, so that's the thing is like, I feel like this is just like, looks like a Halloween costume.
Yes. Yeah.
It looks like one of those things when you go to, Party Cities. I don't know if there's any of them around anymore, but you'd walk in and it'd have the costume of someone of what it would look like if they wore it.
Yep.
Yes.
That's what it looks like.
That's just, I just can't, I don't know. I was kind of disappointed when we were talking about it.
You're really going to look great in that in a couple of weeks. Halloween.
He's got something up his sleeve.
I can't wait.
He's got something up his sleeve here.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Mom. Oh, so before we get into the analytics talk, then you have your all-time favorite mascot.
My all-time favorite mascot.
Well, maybe because I don't know if Zach's seen this, but I want to see if Zach can guess. Of all the teams, then, Zach, what do you think would be my mom's favorite major league mascot?
Trying to think of. Well, can I get AL or NL?
Okay. NL.
Oh, NL. Oh.
Does that help you?
No, I'm not gonna lie. I was trying to think of NL. Is it the Cubs?
No. Wrong.
Is it the Philly Fanatic?
No, what? Okay, so Philly Fanatic. What are your viewers saying? What do your viewers think?
Yeah, what do the viewers think here is
my favorite?
They're saying we got Billy the Marlin, Bernie the Brewer, Philly Fanatic.
No Oriole Bird. Obviously, I mean.
Well, we said NL.
If we knew, yeah, I know that's true. There's no Humpy in the NL, so obviously he's out.
I was going to say Kansas City because of the Lion.
Nope, not the Lions. CAL, NL, Mom. No, not the Padres. Do we have a drum?
Too much suspense.
There might be.
Tell me when. Tell me when to reveal it.
All right, ready? 3, 2, 1.
Okay, here it is. My all-time favorite, Mr. Met. Mr. Met.
So why Mr. Met?
I'm going to tell you Mr. Met. Now, I think there is now, can you see this?
Yep.
I think there is a Miss Met or Mrs. Met. I don't say it, but I don't know what the pronoun is there. But anyway, in my day, it was Mr. Met, who's still there, I love.
Mr. Met's still there.
And I don't know. I'll tell you what. So when I went to the stadium, the first time I was at that stadium, at the Met Stadium, I've been there many times, but the first time I was there, and I was sitting over on the opposing side, so on the Mets dugout side, and the fans were great. They really were great, and the fans were like, the mascot comes out, and it's this skinny, very skinny person, very skinny legs, and the giant head. The giant baseball head and this really skinny body. And so when the body would turn around, but the head isn't. So you know what I mean? So the body turns, but the head doesn't turn. So the the whole thing doesn't quite work. In those days it didn't. It does now. But anyway, I was laughing. I just thought, oh my God, this is incredible. I mean, this guy, it was just hilarious. So the fans, I was sitting there and a couple of fans came back. They went up to get some food and they came back and they brought me 2 Mr. Mets, one for Rachel and one for Ryan. You have 2 kids, right? And I said, yes, I do. And they said, well, we can see you're enjoying Mr. Met. So they bought me this. So that's the story. That's why I love him. And I love him ever since. I just get the biggest kick out of him.
Well, we've had these things now for years. Decades.
Hey, this is worth something right here. Are you kidding me?
Look at that guy.
I mean, come on.
Look at that guy.
I mean, it's great. And I'm glad that there's he's got a partner.
You know what? The mascots, I feel like as a kid, I you know it. We had a collection of them. I had the
Well-
collection. I had the collection of the mascots. Rachel had the collection of foam fingers.
Oh boy. What? See, here's the thing though, and then we can talk about baseball. But the reason why all of that is okay. What are you going to do with young kids sitting at the ballpark for 5 hours? What are you going to do? You got to be creative. So one out of the things that I did was always with the kids would be, okay, let's find the mascot, and then who's our favorite mascot? Let's find him. What's he doing or she doing? Blah blah blah. So that's just one out of many, many, many things of how do you during all that time downtime, or it's not downtime, but how do you keep your kids active? And looking for the mascot was one of them, and talking about the mascot. What do you think about it? So. Yep.
And sometimes you could be terrified of the mascot at times.
Yeah, no, Ryan was. He was scared of the Oriole bird. He was. You were.
For a little bit of time.
You were.
We got over that. No
Yeah,
longer scared of the Oriole bird.
I know. I guess what I guess when you hit about 17, you got over it. But yeah, no, I'm joking.
Hey,
I'm
Mom,
joking.
great having you on the show.
No,
Good to see you.
it's when you were little. You were. A lot of kids were. It's like Disney.
You know what used to
It's
scare
like
the hell out of
Disney,
me too was anyone that dressed up as Batman in real life. Like that scared the absolute.
Yeah, well,
crap out
that
of
happened
me.
to you too.
I know. I cried and I ran into my castle.
Yeah,
I was terrified.
I know.
I was 2 then, not 17.
Yeah.
All right. So, Mom, so we can finish out this baseball
it.
talk, and then Zach Zach is gonna skedaddle here in a minute. But we did want to finish on one thing.
Yep.
With analytics.
Okay.
And the game and sports. And because the Dodgers have won recently, and everyone's looking at, they're a powerhouse, but it's not because of how they won. It's that they let their stars, especially pitching, continue to go. And actually, Joe Madden was on Foul Territory just the other day talking about how he thinks that analytics in the game sometimes can stop the greatness in players from happening because of what you think could be the right answer, but not necessarily what the game is telling you. So let's play that clip of Joe Madden talking about this, and then we're going to react on the other side.
Sometimes the analytical method gets in the way of the greatness of a player, i.e. the time that Snell was taken out of the game in the 2020 World Series. And like yesterday, I think the Dodgers, having been on the other side of things, said, no, we're going to let this guy ride because we know how unhittable he can actually be. So, yes, I believe before every game, Toddy, I sit down and I go through the whole lineup and I write relief pitchers' names after every hitter, and I write little lines like little slots, blocks. Today it's different because of the 3-batter minimum, which I hate. I think it's ridiculous. Any new rule change that interferes with strategy, I think is wrong. If time of the game, pitch clock, that is fabulous. That is pure genius, and that's really the only rule that needed to be implemented in our game. That's it. But when you start messing with strategy, this point of building blocks where relief pitchers could fit into a block, now it has to become a block of 3. Much more difficult to really decide on somebody there. So long story short, yes, if my guy's cruising, I'll let him continue to cruise. Pitch count might be part of it, how deep into the game it is, how has contact gotten louder over the last couple of at-bats? Is it, all those, everything weighs into this factor. Who's the guy? Who's the guy? What kind of heartbeat does he have? We treat everybody as though everybody's the same, and they're not. And that's the part that has to be interpreted better.
So right there, that conversation, it still stems from, and Joe Madden, 3-time manager of the year, as people have seen, the point was brought up because in today's day and age, analytics dictates the percentages of when you bring guys in, when you take guys out, how many times do you face the top of the order. Usually they say if the top of the order gets to the 3rd time, you take a pitcher out. And in the minor leagues, they're teaching you, hey, get 5 innings. You get 5 innings, you did your job. But what Joe Madden's trying to explain, when you have guys that are just on and they're in a rhythm, they're in a zone, and they're going out there and are completely dictating the game, that sometimes you got to sit there and realize what the flow is. And if they get in trouble, how much do you trust the guy on the mound? What's his mindset? And he mentioned about letting the greatness of a player come out, Zach.
Yeah.
Blake Snell, he referenced that game. And if you guys don't remember that, the Rays, Dodgers, COVID year, and Blake Snell was on, and he got into a little bit of a runner on base or something like that instead of letting.
Yeah, I think he gave up a single. I think it was like a home run and a walk, and then they pulled him. It was like or he just walked a guy and they pulled him. I do remember.
And you know what? I understand, especially in the postseason, you can use your arms and your best arms more. Like it's all hands on deck. But that was a situation right there where you saw what Blake Snell can do the other night. Blake Snell wanted the opportunity to get out of it, and they decided not to. The Dodgers end up coming back, winning that game. That changed anything of what could have possibly happened there for Tampa. And so you wonder if is the game coming back to this now where you want to talk more about the feel and less about all of the analytics and in the moment instead of this is what the percentages are. It's not a perfect answer, but I do agree to Joe to an extent, Zach, of you have to go out there and you have to be able to trust in the guy, and each guy is different. And they're not all the same. And you have a pretty good indication of where that person is at, not just physically, but mentally. And that should be the biggest decision maker here. Not so much as, well, we got to this point. Now let's go to these other guys because that's what's happened. Now, if you did that in the regular season, right? Like the Kansas City Royals, when they won the World Series.
Yeah.
They got to the 7th inning. They had a
It was
play.
over.
7th inning guy, 8th inning guy, 9th inning guy. No ands, ifs, or buts. But in this case for the Dodgers where they had bullpen trouble, so I'm going to ride the guy that got me to the situation, and it's paid off for them as they're up 2-0 as we talk about this going into Game 3.
Yeah, I mean, I could not agree more with Joe there. It feels like sometimes I think analytics have such a positive in the league when used correctly, but that's the big if used correctly. I think the biggest hurdle that a lot of these teams find with analytics is overusing them. And, we've had how many managers come on the show or we've interviewed, sat down with them. They've talked about, former players, managers. So like, you can't measure a heartbeat, that's never going to be able to be measured by analytics. The guys were in the biggest moments, the heart doesn't raise a single, step. And, Blake Snell, I think, is the perfect example. And even let's talk about Yamamoto. Like, goes out there. They let him pitch all 9. They didn't care that his pitch count was over 100. They sent him back out there because he was the best player for that moment. The way he was pitching, no one was touching him. He gave up a home run on literally the first pitch of his day, nothing past that. So it really was one of those things where, the analytics might have told you, third time through the order, whenever in the 5th, 6th inning, we got to pull Snell here. Oh, well, maybe a righty matches up better against this guy here. Okay, with Yamamoto, okay, Yelich is coming up for a third time. We don't want to have him face him again. Something like that, where it kind of takes out of the picture hey, some guys are just that dude. Like, they're just sometimes you have to throw the analytics, throw the numbers away, throw the predictions away, and be like, this is our ace. You talk about, let's go back to a more Orioles thing. Corbin Burns going 8+ 1-run ball, in the playoffs. That is a perfect example of the Orioles at that time being like, this is our guy. He's giving us the best possible outcome to win. Yes, the analytics might have said in the 7th inning we have a better matchup if we bring a lefty in here. But then that's a new person we're introducing into this game when the guy we have out there is doing a damn good job. He's doing his thing. I think that's where analytics get overused, is it kind of, like Joe alluded to, sometimes puts everyone on the same playing field, whereas if you watch sports, you understand that's not it. Shohei Ohtani and a random left-handed bat coming off the bench is not the same. That's not the same. At some point, you have to understand that, hey, these guys are different. Some are just levels above others, and they can't be put numerically into a database and be like, okay, this is what we need to do at this specific time.
Yeah, I mean, that's the way the game's changed. Go ahead, Mom.
No, I was going to say, I've never been a big fan of analytics. You know that. I just haven't. And again, I'm just talking from a fan's point of view of watching it. But I mean, it kind of takes out the beauty of the game. I mean, every player that's out there every single day, they're all unique, and each day they're going to be different. They're not going to be the same. You're not going to get the same results day in and day out. That's just not the way it works. Mm-hmm. And I think having, just kind of letting it ride and not sitting there saying, well, analytically, this isn't going to work or that's not going to work. I mean, you don't even know, like, for example, I mean, a guy coming in that day who, if you were looking at analytics and they said, oh, we're going to put this player in. And maybe the player had a bad day that day. Maybe something in their life happened the night before or the day before that morning or whatever, right? It's going to change their mindset for, during that game. Mm-hmm. Does that mean the guy should be yanked out just because he happens to be having a bad moment for a minute? Mm-hmm. I don't know. I think these are human beings that are playing. I think it should just, in my opinion, they should just let them play.
Yeah, I think that the problem is when you overthink. The analytics, I think, can give you the opportunity and data to help you make a good decision. But the reality is it can't be the end all.
You mean it helps the manager? You mean it helps the managers and to make those decisions?
I think it's everyone. Like when you get information, it's anything in life, right? When you get information can be beneficial.
I mean, does it help the player with the analytics?
I mean, a lot of the players nowadays like to look at it. The problem is, like, here's an example I know for guys in the clubhouse right now, and as we wrap this up, is when they are hitting, guys like to see right after their bats, they go to an iPad and they're like, okay, where was that pitch?
Oh, I see.
What did the swing look like? Like over analyzing the game instead of sometimes it can be, how did that guy pitch me? What does that look like?
Do you think that's good or bad?
I think it's gotten to a point now, and I see Chris's comment here. Baseball went through a massive analytics boom. I think we're on the back end of the analytics ebb and flow. I think people obsess so much at, oh, here's the numbers, here's all this, instead of being, how does that look? How do I feel? What do I need to do to be successful?
I think it would drive a player crazy.
But you'll be surprised nowadays. That's how there are guys that live and die by the info.
I'm sure like anything now, in anything, but it can drive some. I would imagine it would be very anxiety ridden.
I think that's also, I'll say that I think that's sometimes a downfall of some players when they think too much in a sport where you can't afford to overthink.
Yep.
I think that's when I keep saying the word I think, but I know that's what happens for players. But we could talk. Honestly, that's a conversation we can definitely dive deeper into. But if you're new to the channel, hit that like and subscribe button. Zach, because I know you got to get out of here, and there's a wild Kevin Ostreicher in the background. But I wanted to make sure, Zach, we took our quick trip up to Hollywood Casino at Charlestown Races. And Kevin can sing it on the side if he's ready. In
West Virginia. Beautiful.
We're getting there on that. But our friends up at Hollywood Casino, Charlestown Races in West Virginia, appreciate them. Hey, how you doing? We'll be up there again in a couple months. But, Zach, it's Thursday Night Football. So that means we got another Bolly's bet. You've won 4 straight on Thursday night. What's the clock for this game, Steelers-Bengals?
Yeah, I mean, the Bengals I've talked to, I think, it's a must win for them. And the fact that, one, I think they can win. And two, just to kind of stay afloat, stay in this race. Joe Flacco, a little bit longer in the system. He's playing Pittsburgh. So, hey, he's going to get up for it. I mean, they are going to need to feed Jamar Chase. I think all eyes are on Jamar Chase to have a massive game. And that is exactly why my bet of the day is T. Higgins over 46.5 receiving yards, because everyone and their mother is looking at Jamar Chase to win this ball game. Okay. I think T. Higgins, he was gone over past 2 games, I believe. I think he is getting more acclimated back into the offense. I think really with Browning. And then, Joe, when you're switching quarterbacks a lot, it can add that, maybe they kind of pinpoint one guy and go solely focus on him. T. Higgins having a big day, over 46.5 yards. Throwback picks continue. Also, I think they're doing the all whites today, at least the white end zones in Cincy. Makes me feel even better about, the Bengals tonight.
So the all white with the stripes is the uniform for today versus Pittsburgh's probably just going to wear their black and gold.
I would assume. I'm not sure if they are color rushing it as well.
Well, what's the name of the Bengals mascot? Maybe that'll be the deciding factor here. But T. Higgins over 46.5 is the final decision for Zach and Bolly's bets. And if you want to tail him, go over to ESPN Bet. You bet $10, you get 100 back in bonus bets. And Zach looks to, in the college photo era, is looking to move to 5-0. Hey, how you doing? Don't call it a comeback. But we appreciate our friends up at Hollywood Casino Charlestown Races and West
Virginia.
Oh boy,
beautiful.
Was it our best? No. But did we give good effort?
Yeah, it was
I just try not to mess it up because I know I'm lagging behind.
Yeah, you tried.
Yeah, same, but I just go for
We're
it.
not going to be on America's Got Talent. I can tell you that much. Sorry.
I don't know.
Maybe. I mean, we need help.
Maybe for dancing, Mom. You haven't seen Kevin dance.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Kevin,
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
Salsa?
When I catch a rhythm, it just kind of flows. Just kind of flows.
Have you ever seen Kevin dance to "Gimme Gimme" by ABBA?
Such a vibe.
I have not, but I would love to see that.
Oh well,
there is video evidence.
We might be having a video pop up for this Friday then for Happy Friday.
We need a dance off.
Yep.
I'm ready. I'm ready.
We need a Ryan Ripken Show dance off. Well, Bolly, I knew you got to roll.
Yeah.
You're a good kid. See ya.
Yeah. Have a good one. Hopefully we get T. Higgins to keep it going. Ripken,
photos.
Incredible as always. Great to talk.
See you, Zach. Zach.
See
you, Zach.
Oh, he's a good kid. Kevin, how you doing, buddy?
Oh man, I've had a day. My Wi-Fi adapter died, so I've been running around. I returned it, and I'm like, I'll just exchange it for a different one. They didn't have it. So I had to run all around to get a new one, and I think I'm coming through. So I think it worked. Hopefully.
Hey, it did. Hey, welcome. You want to have a therapy session. We've been talking about what have we been talking about? We talked Orioles manager situations earlier. We talked at the NFL and that whole Chiefs-Lions situation where, like, hey, we're not allowed to call New York, but we called New York for this. And then we talked about mascots. Humpy is a contentious point in Seattle, Kevin, but it's a mascot. It's not. We clarified that, Mom. Humpy's a mascot.
Yeah, he's a mascot.
He's a salmon.
He's swimming upstream.
He's swimming upstream, Kevin.
Yeah.
Did you actually see the mascot, not MLB related, but the Utah franchise in the NHL? They just revealed their mascot last night. It was a whole big deal.
No. Whoa.
They had a whole video reveal and that new Utah franchise.
Do you have a photo of that?
I'm looking it up.
Yeah. I don't want to spoil it. So
whoa.
I got to pull it up on the screen.
That's a big reveal.
I know.
What is happening?
It's a big deal.
Mascots are a bigger deal than people think.
Big deal for fans. They really are.
Yeah, I agree.
Love their mascots here.
They do.
People love their mascots. Kevin, are you able to rest with the bye or no?
Somewhat. I mean, more than I would have if they had a game. I'm not doing a watch. I mean, there's no bye watch along this week. So, did you see it, Ryan, the mascot?
Wow, Mom, this is.
Are you gonna put it up?
Yeah, give me. Hey, hold on. Patience is a virtue in this family, right? No,
not in this family.
Yeah. See. Hold on. It's all, and Kevin knows, Mom, you always take the under here. Under. Let me share a screen one time. Can we see this?
Under.
Can you see it under?
Oh.
So they're the mammoths.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And his name's Tusky.
Oh, I love that.
That's an awesome name.
I like Tusky. I like that a lot. Love the name. At first, for just a second, I thought it maybe was what's the Seattle team? The hockey team?
The Kraken.
Oh, the Kraken.
For a second, just because of the black, a little bit of the black uniform. I got to say,
isn't the Kraken like an octopus?
No,
like,
I don't mean. Not the person. I know pirates.
Pirates, and it's that giant thing. Release the Kraken.
No,
talking about-
I love the mascot and the uniforms of the Kraken, the whole bit, all of that. Love that whole team. This is quite kind of cool though. It's interesting. It's a little scary, but yet could be kind of cuddly at a sort of precious moment. Tusky, cute.
Oh, look at he's got a little sass. It's all about the hip movement.
Look at that.
Look at those eyes, though. Whoa.
And also look at the hip placement. So actually, Kevin, you didn't get called out.
What's on his head?
What's on his head?
Yeah, what is his
I think it's like a mohawk.
No, the blue.
Yeah, he's got a mohawk.
Oh, he's got a okay.
Yeah.
All right.
He's got some sass though with those hands.
Yeah, he's got some sass. He does.
My mom thought it was Rocco, Kev, like for the Blue Jay that we had up earlier.
No, I just said.
The picture.
Was it a spoof? Were you spoofing me? Was it Rocco really in the Blue Jay?
It probably was.
I mean, it could have been.
He does put his hands like that. That's why I know. He does do the.
Yeah.
I mean business.
Oh, it could have been.
But I'm still a softie. Is kind of what he does.
That's why next year we need to do the hot dog race. We need to get everybody in the mascot costumes.
Yeah. This is a combo of the Kraken plus on Game of Thrones on the
Are we still are you talking about the mascot, the Kraken, or are you talking about
the mascot and the mascot, but also with Tusky here, it's got a little bit of on the Game of Thrones with the guys with the blue eyes, the dead guys,
the White Walkers.
The White Walkers. Thank you. I don't know why. Just sort of reminded me of that.
Well, he's blue, but his eyes are
eyes aren't blue, but just
his eye. Oh, fumble.
Hey,
Kevin, you should have seen. It took a lot of time to get my mom set up behind there today.
Well,
it's just her and I riding solo in here. Zach.
Yeah, and that's because these earpieces, I think, were made maybe 40 years ago.
No, they literally were not made.
Yeah, I have trouble with the earpiece. I can't do them. I can't do them.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good.
You can all be a part of the program here.
Yeah. But hey, Kevin, I love that though. The reveal of that. Bringing up the mascot.
Yeah, it was cool. I like it, and maybe the NBA expands in the next couple of years, and we get a couple more mascots. I mean,
very cool.
Yeah.
Have you seen what Humpty looks like though? Do you believe in the curse of the rise and fall of the Mariners lies on the back of a pink salmon?
A fish, yeah.
No?
They might need to rename it to Birch Fish for good luck.
Birch fish. Also someone who loves their fish, Mom. Kevin has a collection of about like 15 glass fish, but they're not behind you.
No, I did the whole background thing. I do. They're
They named one last year, Mom.
They're on the shelf below. So like these.
Oh, they are. Are you a fisherman? I mean, do you like to fish?
No, I've never fished in my life. I just
No, you just like the look of them.
No, when I was younger, my parents went to Europe and they got not this one that I just that I just showed, but here, let me pull one. So like they went to Europe and got like 3 fish. Like this is another one of them, like this. And whenever they found what?
Is that like a blowfish? The one.
Yeah, I get. Yeah, just it's not puffered up, but
the puffer. The puffer.
Yeah.
Listen, I don't know. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend I know fish. I know sushi. But
well, sushi does have salmon.
Yeah,
one thing I wanted to say, Kev and Mom, to the other part of this, and our audience knows that Zach and Kevin and Zach, when they do the React show.
Yep. Which I really enjoy. I think you guys are great doing
great.
That.
Well,
Thank you.
There used to be a fish named Ripken.
Yep. That was one of the biggest controversies on the show.
Yeah, we don't know. All of a sudden, Mom, Ripken just was gone.
What happened?
That's not the controversy.
That's not the controversy, Kevin.
No, they had to be moved. They did not die, but then they did die. It was a tragic situation.
Conspiracies here of what happened to Ripken.
No, we had a whole voting system because there were like 5 or 6 names people wanted, but I only had 2 fish, and so I only had the one at that time, and so there was everybody wanted it to be named a certain thing. We put out a poll of the top 4 names, and we ran it for maybe 5 or 10 minutes. Right at the end, it became an absolute tie. Like one vote came in to make it a tie between Birch Fish and Ryan Ripken. And we ended up going, because this one was a Tequila Sunrise Guppy. So since Ryan likes tequila, we ended up making it Ryan Ripken. But then I went out and got another one so that we could have both of them be Birch Fish and Ryan Ripken.
And they both died.
Well, not like in a day. They had lived for a long time.
But you know who's still living, who's doing well? Humpy. Humpy's still out there doing his thing.
Humpy's out there.
And the Mariners
Don't count him out.
Mariners are 2 wins away.
Don't count him out.
Hey, they're leading the series right now. They're 2 wins away.
I know. Don't count him out.
They're 2 wins away. As we get close to wrapping up here, Kev, am I missing anything? There's nothing Ravens related that we missed, right? You know, they lost. They're 1-5.
Yeah, man, nothing going on. Nothing going on.
Maybe that's good. Maybe that's a good thing.
I mean, you had the thing with C.J. Gardner-Johnson earlier in the week, and that was enough. That was enough. They don't need anything else.
What the CJ the Gardner-Johnson era is one that we will tell our kids about.
I'll never forget it. I'll never forget it.
It's almost as memorable as the Terrell Owens going back to the day when he was a longtime Raven for.
My favorite was Ryan Grant when they signed him, and then 3 days later.
And then they didn't sign him.
Yep.
What could have been?
I know.
I'm trying to think, is there any big contracts, Mom, that you remember that they were supposed to come to Baltimore and then didn't? I feel like a lot of the Orioles, they ended up coming.
There's a lot of Orioles that were here and left and then did tremendous.
Okay, well, thanks for putting that part in there.
It's true.
That's not where the conversation was going here.
I know, but I changed it. But it's true. We could, write a book on that one.
Yeah.
Anytime anybody leaves, they end up, they're a superstar.
There's no pitcher that comes to my mind like Jake Arrieta, Kevin. No one. That's one.
Tough one.
What?
I said that's a tough one.
Kevin Gosman's turned out pretty well too. Yeah, Mom, thanks for bringing that part back up. That hurts.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I mean, you need it's a reality check.
It is. You know what? Rick did say preach. They leave Baltimore and they play well.
It's true.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
so that goes back to that in your earlier discussion in your podcast, and you're talking about the managers and should it be if the team doesn't do well, who are you looking at? Are you looking at the players? Are you looking at management? Are you I will keep my opinions to myself at this moment. But one day we'll talk about it.
No further comment at this time.
No further comment. I will. I have watched it and studied it over the years. I do have quite a few opinions about it, but I think at this particular moment, I'll leave it to myself.
Well, why don't then to close out the show, Kevin, you can take a second then to think about it. But it is then not baseball, but just good vibes, feel good. How about to close it out? It's Throwback Thursday. We like some music.
Yeah.
I mentioned earlier, Kevin, that I was going back down because AI is creating, Portuguese, Brazilian funk songs as well. As you know, Mom, don't listen to that song. Is that
a Pink Pony song?
No. That Pink Pony Club.
Pink Pony Club.
That song actually like lyrically, even if there's
I love the Pink Pony.
I know.
Okay.
The Brazilian funk song.
I'm gonna play it. I want to hear it.
It's a bop.
Okay, I'm gonna hear it. I'm going to hear it on the car ride home.
It's a bop, but it's not
the Brazilian. Say it again.
No, it's not the name of the song. It's just like a Brazilian. It's a Portuguese Brazilian funk.
Okay.
And it's
all right.
Earmuffs for you. But Kevin, I heard 1950s AI was doing an Eminem song Without Me, but they made it Motown edition, right?
Oh.
So that brought me back to Eminem back in the early 2000s. It brought back 50 Cent for me. I talked about P.D. Pablo then. So whatever throwback songs you're thinking of this Thursday, but Mom, I'll start with you. Throwback Thursday song that always gets you dancing. That's not new, but a song that you always love.
Ooh, the pressure. Well, I mean, any ABBA song, the Mamma Mia's. Mamma Mia.
Here I go
Yes.
again. My, how can I resist ya? Mamma mia. Does it about the
We don't know the words.
humpy one again? My. Just how much they.
I missed you.
Yeah.
Love that.
Good
Mhm.
song. That's a good ABBA. I think you can't go wrong.
Any of the on the Mamma Mia like soundtrack, fantastic.
It's classic.
Yeah, you just dance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm more of a Burt Bacharach guy,
Makes you
though.
happy. Yeah, it
Yeah.
does.
What do you get when you fall in love? Da-na-na. What movie is he in, Kevin?
I couldn't tell you.
I know. Kevin,
Kevin, I got a question,
I know.
mate. Can I be honest? There's a couple movies. There's movies that I quote. Come on, buddy.
Well, if we're going through yours, it's Austin Powers.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. See, first try.
Right there.
Yeah. Good job.
Well done. Well done. You know how I learned that movie? There she is. Hey, it's for
And
kids.
you're welcome.
Yep.
Hey.
Yeah.
Hey.
Found out a few words.
They said it was going to be a
nice.
nice. They said it was going to be a nice family movie, and I thought, okay, Mike Myers will just put it on, and there it was. I enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
You kids enjoyed it. It was way over your heads, but hey, listen, it was good life's lessons.
Mm-hmm.
Look at the nice young man you've turned out to be. Right, Kevin. Look
Very
at that.
true. Very true. Look at that. See, you can't go
Look
wrong.
at that.
Kev, give me a song then. What's a song that gets you vibing, gets you funky? Well, if that's how you want to get.
Yeah, it's not as as big of a throwback, but one that I think is just a vibe when you really need it is Three Little Birds by Bob Marley.
Three Little Birds. Don't worry.
Yeah, see, good messaging, right? Like sometimes you just need something like that.
No. Don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing is gonna be all right.
Yeah.
Humpy's gonna win tonight.
Oh, nice, guys. What about you?
Boom.
What's your throwback?
Well, I was
Thursday
throwing
song?
it out. I had Petey Pablo going.
Was the Burt Bacharach? That was your serious
well, that
throwback
also
song?
could be Burt
Was
Bacharach.
that your throwback song?
Well, it could be.
Oh.
I was going down memory lane from it. I was thinking Petey Pablo because, Freak a Leak was not a song that was made for kids, Kevin. Obviously, I think it was made for you. Mom, I don't think I need to explain the song to you, but it's more for – it's kind of like From To the Window to the Wall.
Oh, yeah.
But a little bit more about the same explicit language.
Okay.
Kevin.
All right. Well, we're grown-ups.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll leave it with that.
Okay.
I'll take you to the candy shop.
Another one, Don't Stop Believing by Journey.
Oh, yeah.
That one popped in my head right now.
I mean, but Kevin, that's like that. It feels like a generic answer. Don't
Well,
stop.
but is it a good song?
It's a great song.
Yeah.
It's a great song.
I mean,
that gets you going. No, that gets you going.
I mean, the one that would be
Are you trying to say because of the Ravens in the season? Don't stop believing.
What about Free Fall?
Yeah, maybe.
Free Falling as well.
Free
Kevin,
Falling.
what'd you have, Kev? I'm sorry.
The one that I think would be like if you're talking about generic that I think might be a lot of people's answers is Mr. Brightside. That one I think is generic.
Yeah, hands down. Actually, I was listening to that on my way over here.
Is that what was getting you hyped
Great
up for the Ripken show?
Yeah. It's Mr. Brightside.
I just can't look. It's killing me. And so for anyone who's just tuning in, Dean Control. Bum, bum. That's it. Turns into turning crucic lullabies, choking on your alibis. Yeah, but it's just the price I paid. Destiny is calling me. Open up my eager eyes. Mr. Brightside. Douche.
There you go.
We were having a conversation, Felipe, about Throwback Thursday songs, getting you ready for your weekend. We had a lot of them here. We have a lot of them here, but I think that's good for today. Mom, appreciate you coming on in again for a
Thank you
second time.
Hey, thank you for having me on. Kevin, really great to see you.
Hey, good to see you too.
Yep, I love your fish collection.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm going to keep growing it.
Very cool.
Justice for Ripken, though. People still want to know.
No controversy.
Thank
They're
you
going to
for
have a 30 for 30.
All right. Thanks for having me on, Rise.
Hey, you know, we did it.
Yep.
We did it. We almost couldn't get the earpiece in. You knocked it out 4, 5, 6,
I
7
know. Well,
times.
we're just getting started. Now we got to get to the, the Thursday drink, special drinks. That's all coming.
Well, you got to get Kevin in for that. Kevin's
Yeah.
probably needed about 30 drinks because he has to cover the Ravens,
I think
and it's not been very good.
I think Thursdays at the end here should be like the Thursday special Deep Eddy vodka drink.
Kevin, find a way to get down here, buddy.
I need to. We need to do the Deep Eddy vodka and tonic.
Yeah, we're gonna come up with a fall. We're gonna
come up with a fall menu, and we'll have Kyle in here cooking.
Oh, I gotta have a fall drink. I'm not gonna reveal it. Let's do it next week.
Nice. Let's do it next week. But you know what, Mom? Here, let's hold up. I said hold up. Wait a minute. Let me see. Hey, thanks for coming in.
Hey, thanks. Thank you.
Beautiful. Well, I'm going to hit the music here, Kevin. You ready for this?
I am. Can you find it?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, I can find it.
Yeah. Oh.
Easy. As always here on the Ryan Ripken Show, we appreciate each and every one of you. Have a day, have a night, have a great stinking weekend. Be good. Go have a great time, great vibe. Life's too short. And when in doubt, put your money on Humpy to win tonight. Mariners, Blue Jays, enjoy Game 4. Hey, Ma, great job.